One of the reasons why I was really inspired to do a juice fast was that I recently did a Netflix free subscription, and I ran across a documentary about Joe Cross, who is an unhealthy middle-aged Caucasian male who discovered through a juice fast that he can find his way towards health and a better way of living. The documentary was called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. So I watched part one that chronicles the lives of a lot of people that he came across, and I've watched part two as an extension of his outreach and how his life has changed both professionally and personally by just connecting with others and helping them reach their health and fitness goals. I'm used to diet restrictions because my body is very sensitive to the way food is prepared and processed. So over the past 10 years, I've given up a lot of processed foods in my life, but over the past 7 years, I've given up all types of meat. So now, just to speed things up, I live a more pescatarian type diet, but I will lean towards vegetarian and vegan if those are the options. As I was watching the documentary, I was re-inspired to continue to eat more healthy and to detox my body through a juice fast. I wanted to do a 7-day challenge and just see how my body felt and chronicle those different types of changes and be able to show those to you. So the supplies that you would need is a blender or juicer that is capable of grinding out the vegetables and the fruits. If you're going to do the juice part of it, you can use a juicer, but I chose to do the blender because I wanted to keep in the fibrous parts of the food so that way it can help with digestion. What you will find is that it takes a lot of fruits and vegetables, a lot of food to make one juice, and this juice is potent enough to satisfy you for long periods of time. Day one was particularly tough for me because even though I was preparing myself mentally and physically for what was going on, when it hit, I was still kind of sort of not ready. I got a 5-hour personal blender, and the reason why I got it was due to price, but also the wattage was 900 watts, and so it was capable of doing the job. Once I was able to get settled in, I decided to get spinach, kale, bananas, strawberries, blueberries, and that was it. At the end of day one, I spent a lot of time in what we call the porcelain throne, and I spent a lot of time waking up in the middle of the night, going to the restroom. I lost count around maybe 5 trips, and this continued on into day number 2. Day 2, I made the mistake of going out without drinking my juice. So I had to hightail it back home to get juice or go to the grocery store to buy a juice. And so you got to pay attention to ingredients. You just can't have anything and everything, low sugar, those kind of things. So I just made sure that I drank a lot of water, and that was going to be my issue, was that I realized that I wasn't drinking a lot of water, and my goal was doing 1,500 milliliters a day, and for some reason I was finding that very difficult to achieve. Day 3 was pretty tough because it was at this point that I think I was really starting to miss solid food. And so when I was going out and making plans, I totally just felt different because everyone was inviting me to things and I'm not able to eat anything. So I had to conscientiously either bring food with me, eat before I went, or just kind of think through social situations. Days 1 through 3 were really tough, and all of my detoxing was pretty much out the way, and I wasn't, going to the porcelain throne as I had been accustomed to doing. So everything was leveling stuff out, and I was still having a struggle trying to drink more water. So what I did was I put water by my bed in the morning so that way I could drink a whole bunch of water before I got out of the bed. Day 4 was very interesting because this is when the craving started to kick in. I craved potatoes. But not just potatoes, salty potatoes. I don't care if it was a baked potato. I don't care if it was French fries, potato chips, whatever. I just wanted a potato with butter and salt. Another craving that I had was just salt. I just wanted salt. To remedy this, I really did. Now this, you're not supposed to do this, but I just took some coconut oil and put some salt on it and licked my hand. That's how desperate it got. With the cravings, I just tried to make sure that I always drank a lot of water, and I always continue to take in the juice, because that was the only way that I can kind of get past the cravings and be satisfied. Day five was pretty interesting, because then I felt very invincible. I had a huge amount of energy. Felt like I could do things, and like I actually I just remember being up for 12 hours, and in that day, not only did I work out, had a workout period, I mowed the lawn front and back, and my front and back lawn take about, like, put together 2 hours to do, because my back lawn is crazy and it grows really fast. And I just remember doing that, and I, came in, showered, went off, and was gone all day, just going and going. I just remember on my Fitbit that I registered over 20,000 steps for the first time. And then what else? Oh, I came back, and then I had to lead a dance class, and so I did all of that like on day 5, and I just felt like I can keep going. And then I came home and just collapsed. But rethinking about that day, I don't think that I would have had that type of energy to keep on going and doing all the things that I did that whole entire day. So that was pretty awesome. Day 6 was more of the same after a good night's sleep, and just making sure that I stayed on top of the water intake and the smoothie juice. One of the things that I did find was that I had to force myself to drink, because I guess now that I'm getting a nutrient dense serving of juice, that I was satisfied off of 1 or 2, and so then I wouldn't keep drinking throughout the day. Day 7, the cravings were back, but not as full force as they were like day 5. So I just kind of mellowed out, laid low, still had a really good energy, and I think I took the strawberry banana juice all the way through for this day and drank plenty of water. And I knew that it was going to be over soon, so I just kind of just reflected on that day, how I felt, and how I would be able to continue this process of transitioning myself back to solid foods. I was looking very forward to it, and very forward to something salty, but it wasn't to the point where that craving was very intense anymore. In summary, I would actually do this again and wouldn't mind doing it again. I felt like after it was all said and done, I was excited to be released from it, but the benefits outweighed the restrictions. And so the way that I felt from day 4 through 7, you can't deny the energy, the way your body's kicking on all cylinders. I feel like it's a move in the right direction, and what I've done since then is that I've also started working with a personal trainer. My sorority sister has jumped in, and now, I'm working out more, and I know that fitness is 80% what you eat, 20% exercise. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button and like this video, but also subscribe and become a citizen.
That's Canadian Queen, 76 do. Go and find it exclusively on YouTube. Oh yeah.